Hello, 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 everybody. Hi, Stella. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, guys. I know that I have been kind of slacking. I've been kind of slacking on my weekly lives on YouTube. Since starting school, everything has kind of been a little, it's a little bit chaotic between school and work, but I'm trying my best, guys. I really am. It's school is coming along pretty well. I've the beginning is, syllabus, getting to know your professors, getting to know your classmates, and I have my literature class, and plus we have film study. So it's pretty exciting. It's funny because I was never excited about going back to school until I'm of age, and now I'm back. And I can't say unsurprisingly, there are quite a few other people same age range as me going back to school. So guys, if you're interested in going back to school, it's never too late. It's never too late, guys. Hi, Sky. Hi, Cicely. It's never too late, guys. If you want to make things happen, you want to accomplish things, go for it. I strongly suggest it. So, guys, we're just going to get right into it. I'm going to start with the intro, and then we'll talk about a few things. So, welcome to Narc Survival 101. I'm your girl, Erica, here. This is a safe haven, a safe place for people who have been affected by narcissistic abuse, domestic abuse, any kind of relational abuse. I am simply someone who is an advocate, an activist for survivors and victims of any form of narcissistic abuse, domestic abuse, any form of abuse, really. That's what I'm here for. I'm not a professional, I'm not a medical professional, at least not yet. That's why I'm going to school. But I'm simply here to help people just get through the motions and hopes that their healing, their healing will be effective. And of course, they'll find their rightful place in their journey. And if you're new to the channel, because I know that this live will stream, if you are new to the channel, check out my other videos, check out my other content. You can also check out my website, www.narcsurvival101.com. I also have a TikTok at narcsurvival101. So, and I do weekly lives over there every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you are interested in sticking around, please, by all means, you're more than welcome to. Hi, official. So, guys, I have been working on the blogs on my website. I don't know if you guys had a chance to check those out. I'm already currently working on my third one, and just so everyone knows, the blogs are more descriptive details. I find myself more capable of really writing. Like I'm a writer. I love to write because I can get everything word for word. I could just get it down. And I have so far two blogs up, which is what is narcissism and narcissistic personality disorder. And I try to make these blogs as unbiased as possible because we've all been in our own experiences. So, you guys can only imagine how much I had to hold back. But it's just really a way to be more informative and more relative. It's just to relate more with people and with their experiences. The current one that I am working on is narcissistic abuse, where I will explain narcissistic abuse and I will give examples of it. And just so we all know, narcissistic abuse is not limited to romantic relationships. You can endure narcissistic abuse in your family, in your friendships, even in your workplace. Okay. And if you go to church, even in church, yes, you can experience it there too. Sky, I have a question, Erica. So I have date. I'm slowly trying to get back into dating world, but I'm also scared. It's just a dinner date, but why am I so scared? I've listen, and I'm sure a lot of you guys, I'm sure a lot of you guys can understand that where Sky is coming from, because it can be a very scary thing after dealing with someone who is a narcissist or enduring narcissistic abuse. You lose a lot of trust. You lose a lot of trust for the world, in general. You lose a lot of trust because you put all of your trust, all of your efforts, all of your interests in this particular person, and they just completely demolished it. They demolished the ability to maybe have faith and love again, or the ability to ever trust anyone again, because narcissistic abuse does cause PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder. So it is, for lack of a better term, it is normal to feel this way. It is normal. Being scared is absolutely normal. There is nothing wrong with you, and there's nothing wrong with your thought process, because, again, you've gone through so much, and with everything you've gone through, you're trying to avoid it by any means necessary. You're trying to avoid getting back into a situation like that. So being scared, Sky, it's to be expected. I would say take your time. I would say, just dip your toes in. Don't be be quick to just jump into something. And you can explain to the person. You don't have to give them in detail your life story or explain everything in detail what you've gone through, but you can explain to them, listen, I've been through some things, and I do find myself having trust issues. So it's going to take me some time. At least if that person is willing to be patient with you, and they're willing to still stick around, and they find you to be worth it. But going on a date is simply that. You go on a date, you have a good time, you get to know someone, enjoy yourself. There's nothing wrong with enjoying yourself, because at the end of the day, even if it doesn't turn into anything romantic or anything serious, you made a friend, right? I mean, if that's of course what they're willing to agree to. So don't feel like there's something wrong with you, because I've been there. All of us have been there, and some people are still going through that phase where they just feel so scared they don't want to date at all. But at the same time, you don't want to deprive yourself, because no two people are the same. And what do I always say? If you trust yourself, okay, it's more about you trusting yourself and trusting that you're going to make the right decisions. Because even if that other person puts you in a position that makes you uncomfortable, or makes you feel like it's just too familiar, the habits, the patterns, the behaviors, then you know what you have to do. Okay, you're not obligated to anyone, and you don't have to go full steam ahead. You can take your time. We live in a society now where everything is just so rushed. People want to get married and settle down. And it's interesting because I was having this conversation with my coworker on my way home. And I said, I'm going to school now. I am accomplishing goals. I am doing things that I didn't even think I could do, because being a codependent, being a codependent in that time, I was so primarily focused on being in love, and having a family, and settling down, and wanting some stability in my life, that I didn't really get to put focus on the things that I want to achieve in life. And I think in this, like, for me at this point, being as I am going to school, and I'm doing things for myself, for me a relationship would be a distraction, you know, because at the same time I'm achieving these goals, I'm doing these things, and if I come across someone who's not on the same wavelength as me, or who is not, not on that same, what's the word for it, they're not in the same lane as me, where I'm doing all of these things, but they're focused on a relationship, and I'm more focused on achieving certain things, it won't work. It really wouldn't work. And I spent a lot of my life being codependent, being in toxically abusive relationships, in codependently abusive relationships, that now that I have my autonomy and I'm able to do these things, I don't want to mess that up by, putting something else on my plate. But it's just keep in mind, it's a date, have a good time, Enjoy yourself. You deserve that. You've earned that. Enjoy the moment. It doesn't mean that you have to, get into a relationship tomorrow. And it doesn't mean that that person's going to be your forever. Sometimes we got to kiss a few frogs before we get that prince, right? Or princess, whichever way it works. But you'll be fine. Yeah, test the waters and see what it is, because you don't have to obligate yourself to anyone. You're single. Guys, you guys are independent contractors, okay? You're independent contractors. You make the rules. You do things on your own terms. You have been doing things on other people's terms, whether it be in your family or in your relationships, that you never really stop to put yourself first. So now that you're in a position to put yourself first, and understand something, if you were a people pleaser, a real people pleaser, and you were the kind of person who always, just put everybody's needs ahead of your own, when you put up the boundaries, you're going to start doing things for yourself. You're going to start putting yourself first. And it's going to feel kind of strange, because you're going to feel like, am I being selfish? Am I being cruel or rude towards other people, or by saying no, am I a bad person? No, you're not. You're not. It's a weird feeling. It's going to hit you, but at the end of the day, you're going to see that this is the way it should have been to begin with. Also, why do I feel ashamed too? I'm going to try to explain, but it's like I feel ashamed to put myself first or even try to date. Again, you feel that way because you're so accustomed to doing for others. You're so accustomed, a lot of you probably were so accustomed to being in a relationship or being in relationships where you always put your partner first. You always put their needs first. You always, hi Kareem, hi sweetheart. You always put what they felt into consideration, and you basically, buckled down. You took a step back from your own beliefs, or what it is that you felt should have either transpired, should have been. And now that you're in a position to do things for yourself, and you're in a position to say, it's about me, yeah, you're going to feel like you're being selfish, because you're not used to something like that. You're not used to putting yourself first, especially if you don't have children. If you don't have children, it's okay. It's okay to put yourself first. And if you do have children, and this goes for anybody in these types of relationships, if you do have children, always remember the children come first. In any relationship, especially if these are people that you are dating that are not the children's fathers, that, or children's mothers, it could be either way, you know, regardless of it, your children come first. I can't put myself first in the sense of my life, because my child comes before me. But if I was single, and I didn't have children, after enduring everything I went through, yeah, I'm putting myself first. I'm putting myself first in this aspect, but in reality, I'm putting my son first, because I'm doing this for him. I'm doing this just to cure a future for him, to give him the things that he needs, and give him the things so he'll never have to need or want for anything. But you guys were so accustomed to, giving to so many different people, that when it came time to do for yourself, and don't let what other people tell you, oh, well, that's pretty selfish of you, or, there are other people in the world. You're not the only person in the world. I am in my world. I am in my world. Okay. Other people's needs and wants do not come before mine. Not anymore. Not anymore. And that is okay, especially if you've been constantly giving and constantly doing and constantly bending over backwards for people who didn't deserve it, who did not earn it. You have every right. Yep. Stella says, yes, true, Erica. Self-love, self-focus, and doing things for your future. And that's the way it should be. And then when you have everything, because think about it, guys, if you guys get into a relationship under normal circumstances, getting into a relationship means you have everything in your life together. That's when you should get into a relationship, when you have everything in your life in order. okay? That you can contribute to the relationship emotionally, mentally, physically, even financially, because at the end of the day, in a relationship, yes, especially if you're looking to build a solid foundation, finances will get involved. But if you're not prepared, if you're not fully, fully equipped, then no, a relationship is not an answer. It's not the answer for you. You may still need to work on a few things before you get involved. I feel like my ex is going to pop up out of a tree and yell at me for dating again or just exploring my options. It gives me anxiety. Let me tell you something, Sky. This would not be uncommon. Anyone who is a narcissist or who is severely narcissistic, that is not uncommon. That is not uncommon. And being a survivor of narcissistic abuse, breaking free from a narcissist, whether they discarded you or you discarded them, things like this can happen. Things like this can happen. Things like this do happen because you've been to plenty of my, my lives, and the one thing I tell you guys, they're always watching you regardless. They're always watching you. They're watching the things that you do. And yeah, some of them have the balls to come in and try to interfere and intervene when things were clearly over. But this is where you have to stand up for yourself. You have to stand up for yourself. If this person poses as a threat, or if you feel threatened, or you feel in danger, then you will have to go to your local authority and explain to them the situation. Because, at the end of the day, stalking is a crime, harassment is a crime. Okay. But if you do what's necessary for you and making sure that you follow procedures that keep you safe, standing up for what you want in your own life and what you believe in and all the things, the strength that you have, you you're not wrong for that. But it is a possibility. It can happen, but that should not stop you from wanting to live your life. It shouldn't stop you from wanting to be, you know, unfortunately, if you're dealing with the type of narcissist who finds themselves wanting to make your life a living hell, which means running out every single person you ever try to bring into your life, or trying to chase them out of your life, and you find yourself, oh my gosh, I'm going to be single for the rest of my life. The other option that I can only possibly think of is you may have to consider relocating. You may have to consider relocating, because like if you notice, I've noticed, I mean, I'm pretty sure it happens with women, but let's look at the common factor when it comes to men, and they're dealing with narcissistic exes, or very toxic exes, or even the children, children's mother. They use their kids as pawns. you know these are petty behaviors as a way to make that person's life miserable, because that other person is no longer involved, that other person is no longer there. And because that other person has no place in your life, or in the man's life, the only way they're going to be able to hurt you, the only way they're going to be able to get to you, is by using your children. By using your children. But in this case, if you're dealing with an ex and you don't have kids with them, excuse me, they decide to do things like this, you may have to look in the possibility of filing a restraining order, going to the police, or even relocating. This is why I say narcissists are like onions. They're like onions. The more you peel, the more hardcore it is, the deeper it gets, and the more it stings. Okay? It stings. Some people deal with very sub-level narcissists, superficial types. The aesthetics is just pretty much, that's all it is. But other people may be dealing with pathological narcissists, or people with extreme narcissistic behaviors that are pathological liars, compulsivity, where they're just extremely compulsive and they can become potentially dangerous. You have to look into these different things. Erica, sometimes I feel deafened. Trying to meet nice guys in their 50s is so hard. And the interesting thing about that is, I mean, they say, and I'm not speaking for all men, because there are plenty of men that are mature, there are younger men that are mature, and there are older men that are matured. But they say that a man has fully matured somewhere along the lines between their 40s to like their 50s. Like, okay, I've done it, I've lived it all. That's it. The fact of the matter is that I don't really see, because age, I do see age as being nothing but a number, because you can have a 30-year-old, you could be 60 years old and have a 30-year-old who is so mature, because maturity has nothing to do with the age. It has to do with their mentality. It has to do with their upbringing. It has to do with the ways they were raised. That's really primarily what it has to do with. If you're dealing with a man who is resentful towards his mother, guaranteed you're not really going to get very far with someone who is extremely resentful towards his mother, because in his eyes, every woman that comes after his mother, they're all the same. They're all the same. All women are the same. You're like my mother, you're like my mother. And they don't realize that they're projecting their resentment and their, possible hatred towards their mother onto their partners. So it really depends on their relationships, as far as their parents are concerned, as far as their upbringing is concerned, because you can have men who were raised by single mothers, didn't have a male role model in the household, but the single mother was a very solid, firm, grounded mother, and made sure that she raised him properly. There's so many different scenarios. But I can sense that it is hard, especially for women, to meet a good man, meet a smart man, meet a man who is, very mature, whether it be for his age or just, mature in general. I have not attempted to date in the past 4 years. I haven't attempted to get involved with anyone, and that's simply because of everything that I have going on in my own life. But you can take everything that you learned and use that as a weapon of discernment. So that way, if you get to know someone, so you're not in too deep too soon, you already know, okay, yeah, this more than likely isn't going to work. So let's just check this box off and just keep it moving, and that's it. No harm, no foul, right? What's something that I can do if I feel anxious on my date? What exercises can I do, especially if I have a PTSD moment? Take First of all, take deep breaths. Always make sure you're breathing deep. Okay? Always make sure you're breathing deeply, and just, because I found, like, when my anxiety kicks in, and like I said, if you feel like you're in a situation where you're just not comfortable, you don't have to stay there. You can apologize and say, listen, I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to end this date. I'm just having a moment, or what have you. But always remember to take deep breaths. Okay? I find it I find it helpful to think of good times, good moments in my life. Okay? If I feel myself having an anxiety or a panic attack, I begin to think about my son. I just think about my son. And the thought of him always calms me down. So I always found that if you think of a good time in your life, or if you like create a happy place for yourself, even if it's just up here, bring yourself there. Bring yourself there. Okay? And remind yourself that you have supporters behind you. You have people who are there for you, people who will always be there for you. And I'm a firm believer that at that time, when you guys were going through the motions of everything, it was worrisome, because you didn't really have people who supported you. You really didn't have a support group. You have friends, you have family. Yeah, they listened, but they weren't really there to truly comfort and support you in a way that other people who've gone through this same experience have. So always remind yourself, once this is all over and done with, hey, you want to shoot me a message and let me know how it went. And if you need someone to talk to, you know that I'm here. Even if you got to sneak in the bathroom, my phone is on me all the time. Okay? And I get my notifications. I always get my notifications, whether it be my email, whether it be through the website. I always get my notifications. So if you got to sneak in the bathroom and, send me a quick message and say, Erica, look, I'm feeling like this, I'll give you the reminder. Okay, you guys want to take me on your dates with you? I'm here. I'm for it. I'm all for it. Anything to keep you calm, relaxed, and understanding that it's okay. It is okay. And no, you will not be judged. No, if you get up and decide, listen, we're going to have to cut the date short, then hopefully they'll be understanding about it. And if they're not, because this is a matter that's affecting you, then they've already shown you. They've already shown you. Because anyone who's empathetic and can sympathize with, because people nowadays, everybody gets anxiety, everyone gets panic attacks, everyone goes through the motions, guys. Nobody's perfect. Okay. I don't care how much of a front people put on. No one is perfect. But at the end of the day, if you're not comfortable and you feel it necessary, do what is going to benefit you. If that person overreacts, or if that person, throws a hissy fit or gives you an attitude or whatever, you already got to see what that person is. And that was just simply on a first date. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure I don't forget anyone. Hi, Kara. I'm sorry if I missed your I'm sorry, guys. You guys know me. When I start to talk, I get into it. David, hey girl, you're always talking with your hands. Yeah, David. Amanda tells me all the time. She thinks that I mean, I don't know. I might have some Italian in me. Hey, listen, my ancestors, I think I have probably more European in my blood anyway, but who knows? I can dig it. I can definitely dig it. I love Italian people. So there you go. Yes, Kareem, just make sure to take your time. Take your time. If anyone is going through the dating because dating is hard, guys. Dating is hard because, it's like picking apples out of a paper bag, and it's just you don't know which one you're going to get. You don't know which one you're going to get. My go-to was online dating because I was able to take my time. I was able to go at my own pace and I didn't need to feel the pressure of things. If I felt pressured or if the person was not understanding, then it's like, okay, you're a dud. That's it. It's done. I'm not gonna deal with it. But in going through my experience, I had come to terms that I was trying to put a relationship where a therapist was supposed to go. It's not to say that I can't have a relationship or I can't be involved with anyone. It's just to say that, I spent 30 something years being codependent, living with trauma, living with these issues. And now that I have my independence and I have my autonomy, I'm really not ready to give that up. Like, I'm not ready to give that up. I don't have to answer to anyone. I don't have to make sure that, that I text the person by a certain time or let them know of my whereabouts. I don't have to do any of those things. And I'm not saying that being in a relationship is a bad thing because it's not, but it's a good thing if it's something that's for you. I just come to the terms that it's not for me. It's just not for me, at least not right now. I'm not open to love or to be in love. I am open to opening doors for myself and for my son and the people who have stood by me in this journey. That's what I'm open to. And that's fine. Because oftentimes too, guys, God's gonna isolate you. And I feel like he's isolated me because there's just so much work that needs to be done. And a relationship is gonna be a distraction. Because you think about it, if I get into a relationship, then I gotta, try to make room on my plate to devote time to a person, to another individual, and have to go to school, have to go to work, and plus I do my content, and then I gotta take care of my kid. It's just like, and it's really probably because I'm so focused on helping people heal, and I'm so focused on just being a part of this because I want to help as many people as I possibly can, that I would not be a very present girlfriend. I wouldn't be a present partner, and it wouldn't be fair to that person. So I'd rather just keep it the way it is. But if you are open to dating and you are open to the idea of possibly going out there and reconnecting with people, take what you learn with you, put it in your backpack, take what you've learned with you and just apply it. Just apply it. Take your time. You don't have to rush into anything. And if people force you or people trying to like, push you or say, hey, you need to, no, I don't need to do anything. And if you can't understand where I'm coming from, then you can go. There are plenty of people in the world, guys. Plenty. I 305 Capricorn. It feels nice when you focus on yourself. It's relaxing. Absolutely. It's very relaxing because think about it, guys. Be in your own company, right? With you being in your own company, have you gotten into any arguments? Okay. Have you been sitting there worrying? I see those memes where it's funny, but it's true. Like, when you see the people sleeping like all comfy in their bed with the big pillows and the big blankets, how I sleep at night knowing I'm single and all these other people, are sitting because in relationships they're sitting there worried if their partner is cheating or doing, and it's not every relationship, but let's face facts, guys. We live in a generation, we live in a society now where, you know, at the slightest DM, like come on, it's just we live in a world where so many people want to be noticed, and there are people that are willing to do whatever it takes to be noticed. They're willing to do whatever it takes to get what others have. And it's sad, but it's the truth. And I personally, I've not sat here and fought with myself. I have not given myself headaches. I haven't given myself anxiety. I haven't sat there and been like, oh, where have you been? Well, I was over here. You're a liar. Like having a conversation with myself, arguing with myself, gaslighting myself. I haven't done any of those things. I notice in my own company, I'm chilled, I'm relaxed. If I'm not working, if I'm not in school, I'm sitting in my corner, I'm painting, I'm creating, I'm doing things. It's a beautiful thing. It's an amazing thing. Okay. Being alone doesn't mean being lonely. There are a lot of things you can do to fill your time. Kara, I question everyone now. I feel anyone who claims interest has a motive since my last experience. It's hard. It's going to be very hard, especially if you suffer PTSD. Absolutely. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard because the person that you had dealt with truly crushed you, and they crushed you with trauma that had nothing to do with you. And when you decide to, get into a relationship, this is why I say make sure you trust yourself. Make sure you trust yourself. People put the emphasis on trusting other people. And the thing that we have to understand is that people are human. Okay? They're as flawed as we are. Everybody outside of us, they're human. They're just as flawed. They're going to make mistakes, they're going to make choices. And what do I always say? People are like the seasons. They change, they switch up. But you would never switch up on yourself. You would never switch up on yourself. So rather than putting the focus on trusting someone else, put that focus on trusting you, because you have to trust that you're going to make the right choices if or when a situation comes. If you're dating someone, let's say you guys been together for a couple of years and boom, they cheat on you or they do something that is just very betrayalsome. Sometimes you got to take everything with a grain of salt. When you deal with people, when you get into relationships, even your friendships, you have to take it with a grain of salt. You have to say to yourself, I'm coming into this relationship with the understanding that this person is not perfect. Okay? This person is not perfect. And there is a chance that they may screw up. There is a chance that they'll make a mistake. There is a chance that they're going to betray me. I'm coming into this relationship with that understanding. But I have to trust myself to make the right choices if or when that time comes. You don't have to beat yourself up. You don't have to drive yourself crazy or fill up your head with paranoia or make situations, create these situations that eventually can manifest if you put enough focus onto it. Okay? When you walk around with trust issues, you're projecting. You're going to project those trust issues onto other people, and that can actually manifest a very bad downfall. It can, you can be your own worst enemy. And that's where you have to be careful. You have to be extremely careful. So it's okay to trust others. It's okay to be weary about things. But it's really about you trusting yourself. Hi, Sergio. China doll, I have PTSD, but it took me 3 months to move on. I believe that I disengaged before the discard. And that's I could tell you that's probably more ideal for a lot of people who've dealt with a narcissist, where if I could have left the situation before they did all of this to me, I would have left. There were times in my relationship, there were times where I considered it, I thought about it, but the human, the heart, the soft heart in me kept trying to reason with me. Listen, if you stick around, show them a love they never knew, trust me, they'll come around. They'll come around. And unfortunately, that is not the case. That is not the case, and we end up sacrificing ourselves. We end up sacrificing ourselves. Post discard, I was in complete shambles. I was just completely distraught. Okay. And some people could, would probably sit there and be like, oh, you're extra, you're dramatic. It wasn't even that serious. Or, but they weren't there to witness what happened. And if you notice, guys, people may have an opinion on how things happened when that person ran the discard, but they weren't there to witness it. Okay. They were not there to witness the person who said that they love you, the person who said they wouldn't betray you. They are loyal to you. They're just loyal, period. They were not there to witness the cold, the brutal, the hurtful words. They weren't there to witness any of that. They just think, oh, it was just a bad breakup and it's something that you just can't get over. It was simply because that person already moved on to someone else before you even knew that the relationship was over. You didn't even know that it was going on. You didn't know it was over until they finally locked someone else in. And then it was like, okay, you are disposable. And in this case, they didn't even really put you as being disposable. They put you as being recyclable. You will be recycled because when I am done over here, I do intend on coming back. I intend on coming back and I intend on luring you back in. And it's a pretty shitty situation, and if no one has understands what that experience is about, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. I would not wish that on anyone. Narcissistic rage is real. Okay, narcissistic rage is like if the person went through like psychosis. And if you're familiar with what psychosis is, it's pretty much like an instantaneous snap. Okay, it's a very, very scary situation. Why do they blame you when they actually did something like, for example, cheating? Well, that's an easy way to avoid accountability. They blame other people to avoid taking accountability. They will blame the victim, they will blame their parents, they'll blame the next door neighbor, they'll blame everyone else, but they will not take accountability for their own actions because by doing so, they know that if they admit that they're wrong, they're going to be judged. They're going to be shamed. Okay. And it shows that they are weak. So they will fight tooth and nail to give every excuse in the book to avoid taking any accountability for any of their behaviors. deflection is a very big thing. It's a very big tool that they use. So they'll deflect, basically trying to blame you and make you feel like you're inadequate, you're not enough. See, I've come to find that when people cheat, when they cheat on their partners, they cheat on their, their wives, their husbands, boyfriends, or girlfriends, it's an inadequacy within themselves. They feel inadequate, so they need to feel desired in some way. Why not go out there and cheat? They'll feel desired, but the reality of it is that when you're cheating, it's only instant gratification. It's not something that sticks with you forever. So instead of them saying, well, I cheated because I'm insecure, I'm cheated because I have low self-esteem, I cheated because I know that I don't deserve you, and I needed to fuel my ego, whatever the case may be. Instead of them saying that, they're going to say, well, I cheated because you were never around. I cheated because you weren't giving me any attention. I cheated because you you always constantly accuse me of cheating. I mean, they'll give you every single excuse in the book, but they will not give you the truth. They will not tell you I am just a low down dirty person and that's just the way it is. They will not tell you that, because which is why they rely on gaslighting. They rely on gaslighting you because they don't want you to know that about them, because they know that if you know that about them, if you know all of these things about them, you're going to walk away and you're not going to come back. You ever notice how when you gain clarity of a situation, when you gain closure, right? When you gain closure and you see the truth for what it really is, you come into a place of acceptance. Your heart and your mind are they're in sync. Okay. That is what closure is. Closure gives you that sense of acceptance. You can move forward, you can close the door and move into acceptance. This is why they don't give you closure. They don't give you closure in a relationship because at the end of the day, they have no intention on closing this cycle out with you. They will try to run it with you as many times as they possibly can until either they have completely destroyed you, your mentality, your emotional state, or you have completely figured them out and you know how to maneuver around them where you want absolutely nothing to do with them, and you basically put them in the hot seat. What are they going to do? The only thing they can do is try to find someone else to take your place, and be their personal puppet. Yeah, they do not take accountability. Yeah. They do not take accountability. Once you keep that locked in, you will be able to look past the cramp they are placing on you. Exactly. Exactly. This is why I say, you guys, anybody going through a discard, anyone dealing with a narcissist, anyone dealing with someone who has manipulative behaviors, it doesn't just have to be a narc. Okay. You have to take off the rose tinted glasses and see things for what they truly are. I know we wanted to see good in them. You want to see good in people, but they did this and they did that and they said this and they said that and they promised this and they promised that. And did they deliver? No, they didn't. They did good things. Yes, they did good things. Why? Because at some point they knew that you were going to do even better things. They did good things for you because they knew that you were going to go above and beyond to do even better for them. Did you notice how when you guys were dealing with these people, they did something nice, but you're probably something like me. You like to go like above and beyond, you know? So if there's, like if, for example, your partners, had their eye on, I don't know, a painting, right? And it's just, it's kind of expensive, but they were like really like, oh wow, enamored with it. You would do anything, if you're anything like me, you would do anything to get your partner that painting because that was truly something that they wanted. That was truly something that made them smile, and it would just give them that feeling of elation. And it made you elated to know that you made them smile, you made them happy. Listen, I did that. I did that. I didn't do it because I wanted the person to like me more. I did it because I felt that this would make this person happy. And if you want to see someone happy, you would do things that you know will inherently make them happy. We got to put a stop to that too, guys. We have to know better. We have to know better, and we have to make sure that we're not giving above and beyond for people who are not deserving of it. One second. I'm sorry, I think I missed. I cheated because Sergio says I cheated because I can never have guy friends, which is a complete lie. Our excuses at the end for the for the discard. We're all over the yeah. That it sounds like the most lamest excuse, by the way, Sergio. I cheated because I could never have guy friends. That makes absolutely no sense. That's not even an excuse. That's just like, what? That makes no sense. But it goes to show that they are definitely willing to do and say whatever it takes. Hi, Daddy. Yes. Sergio says, I always said my happiness was making her happy. Impossible. Yeah, you can give, 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 and give because they're not really happy. They're not really happy people. They're not, their happiness is very synthetic. It's very synthetic. Okay, it's not genuine like yours. What would make you happy could be the most simplest of things. And what would make them happy is, and I'm going to be 100 with you, is knowing that you are miserable or as miserable as they feel about themselves. And that's a pretty crappy thing to do. It really is. What's the point of the narcissist saying they love you when they don't? I'm still mad about that. Why even say it if you don't care? I said I loved him and I meant it. It still makes me sad because they're saying what you want to hear. They're saying what you want to hear. When someone wants something, or if someone wants to extract something, and they know, first and foremost, they know that you want a relationship. When you're on a dating site, or if you go to mingle like at a singles party, you know, if they're on the same site or they're at the same place, they know that you're there for a reason. Okay. See, being on a dating site is one, it's a giveaway. It's a giveaway. Okay. You can go on a dating site and put up pictures and a nice bio and say all these things because they know that you're looking for love. They know these things already. They know that you want a relationship. They know that you want stability. You want to settle down. They know these things because if you didn't and you would have been like, oh, I'm just looking for a hookup or I'm just looking for something casual, it's like they can probably get some supply out of you, but not the kind of supply that they're looking for. Because anyone who's looking for a relationship or looking to settle down is willing to do more than someone who's just looking for a hookup, who's just looking for, a casual thing. That doesn't mean that they won't go for it, because if they can get sex out of it, sure, they'll get sex out of it. But because they know that you want a relationship, they know that you want to be committed, they know that you will do the things that people do to obtain and sustain a committed relationship. So, in order to keep that going, in order to keep that supply coming in, they're going to tell you what you want to hear. And it's, listen, if you're mad, I completely understand and I get it. Trust me, I get it. And eventually you'll get to a point where you'll no longer care about it. You'll no longer care about it. I was in the same position. It took me 2 years to heal. 2 years to fully heal. Okay. I came into a level of acceptance approximately like 7, 8 months maybe 7 or 8 months after I was discarded. After I was discarded, I came into a full level of acceptance. Then it was just a matter of healing. It was just a matter of healing my, my pain, my wounds. So every now and then I had triggers. Every now and then I was, having my moments. I had my depressive moments. I had my anger moments. I had, moments where memories would pop up. And over time, I moved on from it. So I'm at a point now where it's like it really doesn't affect me. But you're mad, it's okay. You're going to be mad because it's just you were invested. But over time, it will get better. I can promise you that. It will get better. Absolutely. Absolutely. Kara says, let him be someone else's problem. Your best revenge is to heal. And also, he might just end up meeting somebody who is his match. He might end up meeting someone who's probably as worse as he is. They can meet other people like themselves, guys. And I'm gonna tell you something. That's a volcano meeting another one. That's a volcano meeting another one. And if you got a narcissist who outwits another narcissist, hey, that's a headache. Those are problems that you don't need. You don't need them. Why do I dream about him? It's been days where I don't think about him or even talk about him. And I see him in my dreams and wake up from the dream and be like, why am I? It's probably your subconscious mind. When we go to sleep, our subconscious mind is opening up. You have, a lot of, well, one, your subconscious mind, even though you're trying to heal and you're trying to get through it, your subconscious mind is still thinking about it because you got to remember you're still having emotions towards the situation. Okay, you still have feelings towards the situation. I mean, there are other theories of when you dream of someone, it's because they're thinking of you. And I mean, if that is the case, then there's probably no doubt that that person is thinking of you. But oftentimes, if they're thinking of you, it's not for the reason that you think. Oftentimes, if they're thinking of you or if they're trying to contact you, it's because they're trying to get away from something. They're either going through something in their life. There are dramas going on. There are situations going on, and they have no other person to turn to, no other place to go. You were the only one who was willing to put up with them. You put up with their shenanigans. You put up with their abusive tones. You put up with their BS. You put up with it. Okay, anyone else would have just clearly walked away and just kicked them to the curb, but you put up with it, so much so to the point that you probably even fought to keep the person around. And it's just, when they come back, it's not what you think. It's not what you think, and it's not for what you think. It's not for love. It's not for, oh, I've turned over a new leaf and I'm in love with you. I don't know what I was thinking. And oh, no, that's just another way to tell you what you want to hear or what they think you want to hear so they can find their way back in. And it's all because of scary. I was reading Kara, I was reading Kara's comment. It's all for selfish reasons. That's it. Yep, Cicely says exactly. Once you heal, you realize you're stronger than you ever were. Absolutely. You can grow and find healthy relationships. They are likely there's stuff in the same cycle. Yeah. You grow out of this situation. They're just basically growing into a new person. They're growing, and by growing into a new person, I mean you have removed yourself from this low vibrational decrepit type energy. They're still there, so they're just going to find someone else that's on the same level as them, because once you have evolved from it and you get into that place of healing and that place of strength and that place of boundaries, once you do all of that, they know that you are not even looking at them. You're not looking for them. You are not even trying to be bothered with them or by them. because once they see how much you have grown, they become very intimidated. They become jealous, but they become very intimidated because you're not that weak person that they thought you were. You're not that same person that they thought you were. Okay. And they don't know how to handle that. They can't handle the new you. They can't handle the you with the boundaries, the you who has no problem saying no, the you that doesn't have a problem, throwing up the middle finger and saying go F yourself. They cannot handle that because that would be severe rejection, and that would be a very, very, very big stomp on their ego. Yep. Stella says, I believe my ex is stalking. His bus he drives was behind my workplace. He has no reason to be there. He doesn't have a bus route near my work. He drove right by me. I saw him, but I ignored him. It's the factor that, when you ignore them. Like, if you ignore someone, first of all, if you ever dealt with someone who gets attention from other people, right? And they're not as humble or graceful about it, but they get attention from other people. You ignoring them is like a challenge for them. So if you think about it, if you got a narcissistic ex and just 1 minute ago you were in love and involved and invested in this person, and after everything went down the way it did, and some time goes by and you're healed and you removed yourself and you're just moving on to the next phase in your life, in their mind, it's you're taking this so damn seriously. It's like you should have been forgotten about this already. This should have just been something that could have been swept under the rug and we move on to the next thing. They're not thinking that you were actually going out there and healing, doing trauma healing and doing all types of things. No, you should have gotten over it by now. That's their mind. You should have gotten over it by now. You got no closure. You got no clarity. You got nothing but gaslighting, stonewalling, breadcrumbing, silent treatment, but you're just supposed to get over this. You're just supposed to be like, oh, okay. All right, well, just don't do it again. Are you serious? No, that's not how this works. For a person to be a narcissist, is it a more of a heart effect or brain effect or both that makes them that way? It's definitely a brain effect. It's definitely a brain effect. Understand that our brains send signals to other parts of our bodies. Okay? It's a personality disorder. And in order for us to feel certain things in our body, our brain has to send those signals. So when you're dealing with someone who was raised to believe that love is non existent, that trusting people is a big no no, that if you show emotions, you're weak, you're very, very weak, and people will take advantage of you, and people will do, you know, everything to hurt you. It starts with up here. It starts with up here. That's one of the reasons why they get angry when you allow no access to you. They have no control. A narcissist, this is why they manipulate. This is why they try to stay in control at all times. And I've said this before, it's because being in control means that they're safe. They're in their safety net. They're in their safe zone. If they have full control, they can control the narrative. They can control how the outcome is. They can control how things transpire in your dynamic, which essentially is what the discard is all about. The discard can be for the reason of being bored, being, no longer interested in being a part of this. So you are full blown in a relationship, you're full blown invested, you are thinking everything is good, and they tell you, oh, I checked out a long time ago. They never checked in. They never checked in. They think that, in being in a relationship, let me explain something, guys, because when you start dating someone, especially if they are a narcissist or are narcissistic, These are people that are so deluded who believe that every relationship they have ever been in prior to you was the other person's fault. It was not theirs. Okay? They're deluded. When they get involved with you, they get into that relationship with you and they start to love bomb you and they start to, do all of these things to try to get you to trust them and to fall in love with them or what have you. They're thinking that, okay, that didn't work out that last, because that's how deluded they are. Post discard, they're so freaking deluded that they'll literally sit there and fight tooth and nail and say, no, this was all my ex's fault. It wasn't my fault. But in the beginning with you, it's exciting, it's new, it's a good feeling. It's something that, brings them a sense of, they feel elated in the moment. And they think, okay, this is it. This is the one. It's, they eventually just revert into their behaviors, their patterns, because they know that showing you this is who I truly am in the beginning is not going to win you over. Okay. They are who they are. They are the way they are because they want to have something, but again, it's for their own personal gain. Narcissists are emotionally unavailable people. They're emotionally unavailable. Okay. They have no emotional availability. They have no emotional maturity. They have, they're like little children in adult bodies. They're children in adult bodies. And they will fight you to the death to prove that they are right and you are wrong, even though they are wrong and you are more than likely right. And I don't know about you guys, but I would not want to be in a relationship with someone who is completely delusional. Completely delusional. I can't be in a relationship with somebody like that. I can't, especially now that I'm completely, awoken to so much. I literally I will pull out my paint and I will paint them into a clown. That's how little tolerance I have for the bullshit of narcissistic abuse, of narcissistic nature, of narcissists, period. Very little tolerance. Thank you, Kareem. What kills me is that she only has my son for 2 days and she's manipulating the hell out of him. That worries me. So I'm starting to teach my son about manipulation and narcissism. I think a lot of parents should teach their kids. I think a lot of parents should teach their children. I think so. I think that's a very good move. It's important that our children understand the difference. It's important that our children understand, I'm not trying to make you choose between me or your other parent, but I want you to know truth from fiction. I completely support that and I completely agree. I think it's important. And if I could, I would do the same for my son, not for the sake of, his parents, but more so for any relationships he gets himself involved in, but given the nature of what my son endures, it's a very hard thing to do, but I'm mama bear. Okay. I'm mama bear. My son is my cub. I don't care how old he is. And at the end of the day, mama bear is not letting none of these little flimsy females mess with my son. That's not going to happen. I raised my son to be a certain way. I raised my son to have respect. I raised my son to treat people with respect. So if a female decides that they want to try to emasculate my son or try to make my son feel little because she's insecure, because she has low self-esteem, or because she has daddy issues, or whatever the case may be, no, mama bear ain't having that. We're not having that. But I think it's important. It is important that our children learn about mental health, learn about, these disorders, and learn about it ahead of time, because that way at least they can they can identify behaviors and patterns, not only in their relationships but their friendships, in their workplaces when they get older. I mean, yeah, I totally agree with it. Mr. Ty, where have you been? Shay said, Shy, I'm sorry, Shay, Sky. I got tired of trying to prove myself. I'm not saying I was right all the time, but the parts that I was right on, it was always wrong to him. I felt tired and just had no fight in me. Yeah, because they'll, like I said, they will fight you tooth and nail. They will fight you tooth and nail to get you to back down. And I'll tell you right now, don't ever back down. If you say something, if you feel something and you feel it strong enough and you know for a fact that that's what it is, you stand firm. Stand firm in your truth. Stand firm in what you say and what you believe. You know, often what they'll use is they'll use certain words, they'll use certain tones, they'll use certain behaviors to intimidate their partners, to, you know, and to belittle their partners, to make their partners feel like, you know, they're not intelligible, that they're not intelligent, that they're not, you know, competent. They will do certain things, and this is all primarily due to the fact of them being shamed throughout their life. This is all projection. I hear you, honey. I hear you. Well, we're glad to have you back. We are glad to have you back. Unfortunately, it came at a time where I'm about to log off soon. I was gonna stay on. I was actually gonna only do an hour because I'm like so exhausted, guys. It's just been a really, really crazy week. I don't know if you can see it in my face, but I didn't want to miss today because I said, you know I missed last week, but you know, with school and work and, you know, my son, it's been hectic, but it's been a good hectic. It's been a good hectic. It's because most of, you know, I'm trying to go for my degree. I'm trying to go for my degree, and you know, I am like, I'm just, I'm trying. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying so hard. Oh, thank you, Ty. Thank you. I'm glad, and I'm glad you. I'm just glad to see you're back. I'm glad to see you're back, and give my love, my well wishes to the family. You already know how we do with that. It's like he somehow made my mind erase what happened in the past. Like he made me forget about what happened when before he cussed and yelled at me. I remembered what he did to me. You know, it's blockage, but you will remember. Different things will pop up. You will remember things that I was not fully paying attention to in the beginning of my relationship. And let me I tell you guys, I make it clear all the time. I was not perfect either. I will not sit here and be like, oh, I was, but I'll tell you something. As imperfect as I was loyal, I was faithful, I was loving, I was respectful. I was respecting. I respected him. I respected his family. If he needed me to do something, I ran and I did it for him. If he needed anything done, I didn't think twice about it. Okay. I did not think twice about it. If there was anything that person needed, I would have ran to the head of the line. Okay. I can't speak for anybody else that this person knows because I don't know. I mean, listen, you have some friends and family that'll be like, well, I mean, what's it gonna, you know, what's it gonna benefit me? Or, you know, well, I can do it, but I have to do it on my own time. I can't do it at, you know, when you need it done. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be, and not being perfect doesn't mean that you know, doesn't mean that you cheated, you lied, you stole, you did things. No. Not being perfect simply means being human. And that's what I was. I was human. I never tried to jeopardize this person or try to hurt this person or do anything remotely betrayalsome to this person. But the paranoia, man, when the paranoia kicks in, because for narcissistic people, you know, for traumatically filled people, for people suffering PTSD, what have you. Paranoia plays a very, very, very big role. Plays a very big role. And that's also what contributes to the damaging, the damaging of our mental. Hold on one second, guys. It's been years since I've dealt with a narcissist, but running into her former flying monkeys is still an awful experience. And I learned to just say, you know something, ignore them. Ignore them. It's when you show them they have no relevance. When you show a narcissist, when you show their friends, when you show the people that they have manipulated to play in on the games, when you ignore them, it just lets them know that you are not worth a response. You're not worth anything. So continue doing what you do. Eventually, they get bored of it. They get bored of themselves and they try to move on to someone else. Because that's how they do. They work in teams, and when they work in teams, if the target is not responsive, if they're not giving any kind of response, negative or positive, there's nothing more they can do about it. So they have no choice, because eventually someone's going to catch on and they're going to be like, this person isn't even saying anything to you. This person isn't even responding to you. And you continuously try to bait them, or you continuously try to antagonize them or provoke them. Not worth it. The texts are still, they're still coming in. Yeah, if I know you said it was hard to change your phone number because you use it for work purposes. It's gonna more than likely continue. It's gonna more than likely continue. I mean, and at the end of the day, you can always ignore it, which is what you've been doing. So just continue ignoring the texts and the calls. But and for anyone who, may be getting random phone calls, random text messages, or if you can't change your phone number, that this person or these people still have a way to contact you, just ignore it. Ignore it. I used RoboKiller on my phone, even though I really didn't need it, because at the end of the day, it's like there's only like what, 4 people who have my number. Not that many people have my number. But you could screen the calls. You can just find ways to just keep dodging them. Keep dodging them. Yeah, no, that's one of the reasons. That's why the first thing I did was change my cell phone number. I can't, because it's kind of hard to, for someone who's in my position, it's kind of hard to say what you mean or mean what you say when you, at that time, were a bit in denial, because I was in denial with myself and how I felt, but I had to stay strong. So I knew that if I was to end things, or if I was to just go in my own direction, or just say, listen, just screw this, I'm done. I don't want to, it's just best that we go our own separate ways. Then, because that person didn't want me going my separate way. They were just like, just stick around, like just sit here and stick around. Let me just, do what I do. And then when I'm ready to come back, I'll come back. That's not how we operate. That's not how I work. But I knew that once I made myself clear that we were never going, we were just going to split end things and just go in our own directions. Something told me I had to change my number. I had to. It just said, change your number. Don't think about it. Just do it. And that's what I did. That's what I did. I changed my number. And, you know, at the end of the day, I asked God, did I do the right thing? Did I, is there that chance? Because, that's when your heart starts to hit you. Your heart will be like, listen, there is that possibility that this person could change. There is that possibility that, it's like this and it's not like that. And my brain was like, change a damn number, because we both know that if you don't, that person will try to contact you. So I did what I had to do. Oh yeah, Ty. They do change. They get worse. Well, they can get worse with somebody else. I left that person to go be with their ex, to go be with these whoever it is that they're dealing with or whatever. Listen, guys, you wanted them to be happy, right? You wanted them to be happy. I wanted the person to be happy. And if it wasn't going to be with me, then go be happy with who you think you'll be happy with and let them be happy with someone else. They're so damn happy. Hey, cool, cool. Just don't come back. Don't come back. Don't bother me. Don't bother with me. Okay? Because you thought your happiness was somewhere else. You thought that you were going to be good somewhere else in someone else's bed, doing things with somebody else. By all means, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. Your happiness was all I wanted. And that is what I gave you. Go be happy. And if you're happy, like you claim that you are, then there's no reason for you to contact me. There's no reason for you to reach out to me. There's no reason for you to stalk me, to watch me, to do anything. There's no reason for any of that. None. Wombat arrow, absolutely. The same thing's going to happen to the new supply. Their behaviors are pervasive, universal. It's universal behaviors. They can go ahead and do whatever they want with so many different people. And at the end of the day, they will always, if a circumstance calls for it, they will always play the victim. They will play the victim in the situation. Be careful. Oh wait, I make it ceremonially. I took my phone outside and smashed it before changing my number. Yeah, these are expensive iPhones, so I ain't smashed my phone, but I did. I changed my phone number. I changed my number, and it's ironic because the irony is that I live in a neighborhood that is literally not far. It's actually not far at all from where this person resides. And I think I've mentioned to you guys, I have seen him quite a few times in my neighborhood. We've walked like literally right past each other, literally right past each other. But, to see us walk past each other like we're two strangers, you would never know that the reason I don't talk to him and the reason he doesn't talk to me are two different reasons. No one would ever know that. This narcissism stuff is no joke. I will never forget when I actually got suicidal thoughts or vengeance. The devil truly comes around, but God is stronger. Absolutely. Absolutely. The devil's going to try to get you when you're down. And after a discard is when you are down. When after a discard is when you are completely down and you are completely at your wits' end. You don't know which direction to turn. That's when you just got to get on your knees and ask God to save you, because he's the only one who's going to save you out of that. He's the only one who's going to do it. Funny how my ex treated me wrong, then moved to another state and got a brand new supply that fast and a new car after me giving him rides everywhere. Oh, that was all premeditated, sweetheart. It's nothing is coincidental with these people. There is nothing coincidental with these people, okay? Which is why they overlap in their relationships. There is nothing coincidental. We just broke up yesterday and all of a sudden you're just now in a relationship with someone else. All of a sudden there's nothing coincidental about them. Them being douchebags, that's not coincidental. All of a sudden you just become, there wasn't all of a sudden, they were always that way. It's just that they held a mask on for a good amount of time. They overlapped in the relationship and they were just pretty much talking to people behind your back. They were dating people, they were meeting people, they were doing whatever they wanted to do, because at the end of the day, they either saw that they were getting bored with the situation with you, or they saw that there was a potential of you discarding them, and they can't have that. So they end up just trying to start something with someone else. Screw it. This is going to probably end anyway, so why bother? Let me just go to someone else. And if they meet someone else and they're like about to discard you, and let's just say, for argument's sake, that person decides to discard them, or that person decides to, not deal with them anymore, then they'll change their tune with you, because now it's like, shit, I got to go back to the drawing board because I got to lock in supply somewhere else. Listen, I have no doubt in my mind with my situation. I have no doubt in my mind that this was severely thought about. I have no doubt in my mind. I have no doubt in my mind that my ex got bored with me. That I have no doubt in my mind. But I also have no doubt in my mind that he got bored with the situation. And it was probably primarily due to the idea that he thought I was going to leave him for someone else, which I never understood where he got that idea from. But maybe it's because it was his way of projecting onto me the stuff that he was doing. And at the end of the day, when everything was said and done, when my relationship was over, I was the one who ended up with a really broken heart. I was the one who ended up going to get help and having to heal from this situation, because in the interim of me trying to heal, in me trying to pick up the pieces for myself, that person was living their life. That person was living with what? Not nearly the same amount of responsibilities that I have, okay? Not nearly the same amount of responsibilities that I had, but more so, they were living their life like the single person that they wanted to be, and I let them have it. I let them have it. And I had not been with anyone ever since. I don't know if I could say the same for that person, because at the end of the day, if that person was dealing with other people, I don't know if they ran back to their ex. I don't know. I don't know anything, because I mean, listen, he's not on my time. He's on, either God or the devil's time. That's between him and them two. Whatever he chose to do with himself, that's his business. And I am not one who sits here lurking through people's accounts. I don't do any of that stuff. I don't have time to do any of that stuff. I don't really care to do any of it, because these people are no longer relevant in my life. But for them to just go ahead and, after a breakup or after a discard, be out there, hey Gil, hi sweetheart, for them to just be out there and just be doing whatever while you're trying to sit there and heal yourself and trying to pick up the pieces, that's not coincidental. Okay, it was all thought about. Everything is premeditated. Everything is premeditated, especially when it comes to a discard. That is premeditated. It was thought about. It was maybe drawn up, or whatever we want to call it. But that was not coincidental. Gil dyed his hair green. Gil, she's not paying attention to me. She's ignoring me.
What?
Oh, now.
I saw that he called me.
Y'all hear her?
Well, I gotta tell him everything.
Why did he say, I want to thank my ex, aka me, for making him a better person and saying all this stuff when he didn't mean it? Again, they say what they think you want to hear. They say what will make them look good in the media, in the public. They'll say anything to gain sympathy, empathy, to gain, remorse, to gain just people, to give them attention. They will say and do whatever it takes. And at the end of the day, it's understandable if you're upset. It's understandable if you felt, if you feel some kind of way about it, because any one of us have already been there, and we've all felt some kind of way about it. But when you come into that level of acceptance and understanding that this is who they are, this is their MO, this is what they do. When you come into that level, because obviously, and it's still going to take some time, it's not there yet, but when you do get to that level, you'll understand why everything happened the way it did, and you'll understand why this actually worked out in your favor rather than against you. Yeah, you have to, Sky, you will have to completely, you would have to go radio silent, sweetheart. You would have to, I would strongly, strongly suggest, if this person is still making attempts after this time, after all this time, it might be due to the fact that they may still have access to you. Okay. And if they still have access to you, you have to make it your responsibility that they don't. It's no, it's not up to them, it's up to you. You will have to make it your responsibility that they don't, because this is still having an effect on you. Even after all this time, it's still having an effect on you in a way where it's getting you, it's having an effect on your emotions. And I'm not saying to the point where it's like, oh, it's, you know, it's hurtful, it's this, is that, but it's still having an effect on you, in that it's just, it's triggering you. It's triggering you, it's pushing you to certain parts. So if this person has social media, if this person has, you know, make sure all of your social media is private, make sure all of your information is confidential, that it's covered up, nobody can see it, because the only way they can affect you is if you allow them to. I went completely no contact. It was the best thing I did to remember who I was again. Yes. No contact is so important. No contact is extremely important, guys. I know it's hard for some, and if for anyone who's catching this on the stream, if you're new to this, I know no contact may be hard, it may seem hard, but trust me, it is imperative that you go no contact. It is important that you go no contact. This is not meant to play games with them. This is not meant to draw them back in. This is not meant to, you know, to manipulate the situation or control the narrative. This is for your mental health. You need to detach from the situation to see it for what it truly is. And if you are not completely detached from the situation, you are not going to see it for what it truly is. And you are going to continue to, your head and your heart are going to continue to battle each other. No contact means just that, no contact. It means removing yourself. If you can't remove your social media, make everything private. Block the person or the people. Keep them away from any way of access to you, any way of accessing you. Keep them away. If you can change your phone number, change it. But if you can't, you have to screen your calls. You will have to screen your calls. I often try to tell people, you know, if you can change your phone number, that would be the best way to do it, because they can't send you random texts. They can't text you from fake phone numbers. They can't, you know, try to trigger you or try to get you to react or try to bait you. You know, if you can do that, that would be my best advice. Because if I had not done that, I don't, who knows? Who knows? His family probably would have been texting me. He probably would have been texting me, or, you know, who, shit, even probably his baby moms. If anybody wanted to really try to mess with me or get me to jump out of character, that was the best decision that I made, because I avoided headaches, I avoided problems, I avoided confrontations, I avoided a lot of different things. No contact is the best way to go. Samuel says, let go and move on. No more toxic relationships. Amen. Amen. Guys, we're already coming into, listen, we're already halfway in September. Okay. We're almost done. We have a few more months until 2022 is over, which means 23, you have to make that your year. You have to. Okay. You have to. This is like a pre-trial. This is like a trial run. Okay. 2023, make your resolutions and stick with it. Stick with it. Like I told you guys, if you're looking to date, there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with it. Just make sure you can trust yourself. Okay. You can listen, you can sit there and worry about the trust and trusting other people, but at the end of the day, people are, we're not perfect. We mess up, we make bad choices, we make decisions that aren't great. This is why God wants us to rely on Him, why He wants us to trust Him. So at the end of the day, don't focus so much on if you can trust someone else. Focus on if you can trust yourself to make the right choices, the right decisions, if the circumstance calls for it. Because at the end of the day, even if that person screws up, even if that person goes out there and does things to betray your trust, you're going to be with yourself, by yourself, after the whole entire ordeal. So it's going to be you that has to comfort yourself, you that has to be there for yourself. See, just make sure, okay, that you feel confident enough that you will be able to trust yourself when the time comes. If the time comes, let's say if, I'd rather say if. Ty, I'm going to bring back the Skype meetings. I'm going to bring back the group meetings, guys. I will be bringing back the one-on-ones. I'm just getting acquainted with school. I'm getting acquainted because, you know, I'm going to be having assignments coming up. I'm going to be having projects that I have to do. So I will probably have to use my weekends for that. But I'm going to bring back the one-on-ones and the Skype meetings, the group meetings soon. Just be on the lookout for it, okay? I don't know if he's watching my Insta stories, but there is this profile, and every time I look at it, the profile picture feels like it's him, but it's on the profile doesn't have a face on it. Your Instagram should be private. Your Instagram should be private, okay? Your social media pages should be private. If you have them open, that is giving them access. And technically, if knowing that there is that possibility that the person may be watching you, may be watching your social media, maybe that's not really no contact because you're giving them the ability to have access. All of your social media should be private, okay? Or if you can even remove your social media, deactivate your social media to get yourself to a better, until you get to a better headspace. But if that's not the case and you want to keep it as, that's just an option. It should all be private. All of your social media should be private. Anyone going through a discard, anyone who is now post discard, your social media should be private. All of your accounts, all access, all ways to reach you, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever, it should be private with limited access, meaning that you're monitoring people who are coming into your space. Okay, this is for your own well-being. It's not for anyone else but yourself. Yes. Samuel says if he has siblings, he may use their account to check yours or a fake profile like many have. I know plenty of people who make fake profiles. And in fact, narcissists are notoriously known for doing that. They're known for either creating fake profiles or using someone else's profile to look at your stuff. Okay. And that's simply because they don't want to get caught. They don't want you to catch them slipping. All right. So if you are in that no contact phase, or if you are, my accounts are open because, well, listen. I've already done my trauma healing. I've already done my, I've done everything that I needed to do to move on. I've had the level of acceptance. I'm beyond indifferent. I'm beyond indifferent. Okay. My social media is public because I am a content creator. I do make videos and it needs to be public. Okay. That doesn't stop them from making fake pages. It doesn't stop them from trying to troll me. It doesn't stop them from any of that. But at the end of the day, they need my response in order for me to, in order for them to feel validated, they need the response. I'm not paying attention to these apples. I'm not. They need me to respond. They will sit there on red. That's it. But if you are in a stage where you're still conflicted and you're at a stage where you are still healing, it's very, very important that you keep everything private. Okay. Once you get to a point of indifference, and sometimes it doesn't even matter at that, because if you want to start dating, you want to get into a relationship, you don't want other people interfering, bringing drama into your new relationship. You don't want that. No contact is for you, not anything else. Agreed. I agree. Ty says, stay private like a nun's chastity. Really, Ty? Really? Stay private like a nun's chastity belt? I can't. Oh my goodness, peoples. My good peoples. I said I was only going to be on for an hour, and you see? Yeah, see? I said I was only going to do an hour. I was only going to do an hour, but no, well, because I have people asking questions, and it's, the family here. You cannot not help the family. You keep starting your, my lovely peoples, my beautiful familia. Stella, your picture is on the way. Amanda gave the tracking number, right? You gave her the tracking number? Okay. So Stella, your picture is on the way. I'm super excited. I can't let me know when you get it. Butch got his. We sent a picture to Butch. You have a picture of it on your phone? We sent him. Now, guys, you guys know that we used to have I used to have a cactus. Amanda bought me a cactus because the whole cactus video became a whole inside joke thing. And every time Butch came on, he always asked about the cactus, and but so Amanda she made a painting of a cactus, of Cactus Bob. I actually have it on my phone, but I'm recording. But all you have to do, Amanda, what you doing? All you have to do is go into you open up the text messages with Butch. Click on his name.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, she's still getting adjusted to using the iPhone. So it happened with the Android users, okay? This is what happens. But we were in the park painting and stuff, so she made the photo of the cactus, and I helped spruce it up a bit. We made the painting for him, so I don't know if you guys can really see it, but I'm gonna put it up. So this was the painting that we sent to Butch. Isn't it cute? It's Bob. Okay. I'm not going to tell you what the acronym is for because Amanda went and isn't it cute? That's for yeah, so she made that for him. I don't know if you have the you can go to the website. So yeah, I've been doing giveaways, guys. I've been doing painting giveaways, and I've been doing it on TikTok, and I've been making the notices. Actually, by the way, guys, I don't really know if I'm going to be doing the notifications for the giveaways because TikTok, they be sometimes getting with it, but they gave me warnings because they said that some of my videos, I don't know, I think somebody reported my videos, but one of them was when I mentioned my giveaway because I, give away paintings, canvases. They tried to give me a warning that if I get another warning, they might, not shut down my page, but they might limit my page because when it comes to giveaways, apparently people get defrauded, they get schemed, they get scammed. And I understand it. I can understand the whole thing. So I'm only going to mention my giveaways during my lives because, I've already sent out the paintings for those who have already won. And do you have the other ones there? For those who have already won. Um, this one, there should be in my other paintings at the bottom. So this is one of them, guys. I'm still not finished with this one yet, but this is one of them. This was actually one that I did after watching a tutorial on YouTube. This one is another one.
You only got 4 left.
I did this one in one day, by
In
the
one
way.
sitting, yeah.
One sitting. I did that. This one is actually claimed, guys. It's actually claimed already, but I'm still working
I
on
still haven't
more.
finished this one.
I have to finish that one. This is another one. And some of them have, like words of encouragement, encouraging statements. And then I did this one. I'm still working on a few more. Sky, no, honey, you don't have to re-enter. I still have your information. Anybody who I've already entered in the giveaway, I'm leaving it in there because that the wheel, what it does is after it picks a winner, it removes that name. Okay. So you're still in it. You're still in it, guys. So Sky, so don't worry about it, honey. I have not forgotten about you. Okay. And if at worst case, if it takes too long, I'll just paint you a picture myself and I'll send it to you. Okay. So you have nothing to worry about.
What did you want the website for?
Oh, no, I was gonna show them the pictures, but I'm like, oh, we got some pictures there. But yeah, there were people who've already won, and I've actually already sent out their paintings. Stella, you will be getting yours soon. It just takes a little bit from New York to Canada, but I sent yours out. Well, Amanda, she took care of it for me. All right, but if you're interested in it, guys, go to the website, sign up for it, so that way I can put you in the raffle, and I can, you know, auction off. I don't want to say auction because these are for free. These paintings, I don't charge for them or anything. They're just my way of giving back to the community, and just helping people see, the beauty in life. Okay, that their life is more meaningful than they thought. Okay, so if you're interested, go to the website narcsurvival101.com. You can sign up, and I can enter you in the raffle. And for my peoples who have been with me longer than ever, if you still don't win yet, I got you. So don't worry about it. I still got you because I don't forget the people who've been with me from the very beginning and who stay true to me. So no worries there. Erica, how long have you been using the new background? I like it. It looks like you're in someone's coffee shop. This is right. This wall right here, I did this myself. Okay. I did this myself. This was during the pandemic. This was during the pandemic. I was bored out of my mind and I said, I want a brick wall. I want a brick wall. So I went and I got some compound. I got tape. I did this by hand. I did it myself by hand. Okay. It took me about a couple of months, right?
Yeah.
Because I have a whole archway. So this is yeah, compound, some tape, some paint, and too much damn time on my hands. But this is my corner. This is my working corner, actually. This is where I study. This is where I take my classes. Um, I do everything in this corner now. So it's going to be, and these are, pretty flowers. And if you notice, the flowers match because I showed Amanda these, I love bright, beautiful colors. Um, but if you see, I'm going to see if I can lift it up a bit. If you see here, I did a painting and Amanda pointed it out to me that it looks, but yeah, this is my new background, guys. This will be my new background for my videos and for my lives because it fits for me. I got my table here. I got my computers here. I have you guys here. So thank you. Yes, Sky, my house is very peaceful. When you walk in my house, it's kind of like walking in autumn. I have an autumn colored house every day throughout the year. Autumn colors. I love anything autumn, anything fall, pumpkins, leaves, you name it. But it's definitely my safe haven, a peaceful place, Amanda's safe haven, my son's safe haven. So we're very, we're very peaceful here. Yes, absolutely. Oh, Laura, thank you. Thank you. Absolutely, Ty. We're gonna set something up, guys. We're gonna do like a meet and greet. You know, we can all try to meet somewhere in the middle and just become better acquainted and have a family dinner.
Springtime.
Yeah, maybe around the springtime, because then we can take time to. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna call it a night, guys. I am so beat. I am so beat. I'm so tired. But my loves, I thank you so very much for being here tonight. I thank you for.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was all about, but that's my cue for, yeah, you just, I gotta go. But I thank you guys being here tonight, just for being here tonight and any other night, and just taking time out of your day, your evening, to to spend it with me, and just being a part of this family. It's an amazing feeling. It's a wonderful feeling. You guys push me to, just encourage me to do so much better. So I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to try to make you all proud. I'm going to try to get this done so I can get this degree and I can become fully legit, and I can really do good damage. Some good damage. Okay. Start, knocking some sense into these people. Stella, my love, thank you so much for being here. Sky, thank you so much. Ty, Sergio, Samuel, I know O was here. Cicely, thank you guys so very much just for being a part of this, a part of my life, a part of this journey. There's so much more to come, and it's going to be amazing, and it's going to be well worth it. So just stick with me. I promise you. I promise. I promise. You're going to make it through this. Okay. And if there's anyone new who's catching it on the stream, or anyone who is just sitting back and watching, hey, if you found it to be helpful, tonight's live, give the live a like, and of course, hit the subscribe button. And, if not, there are plenty of other lives that we've done. You can pick whichever one you like. And if you have any questions, you can reach me at narcsurvival101@gmail.com. And again, don't forget to check the website out, narcsurvival101.com. Okay. Sign up so that way you're notified of blogs, you're notified of the giveaways, new events, all that good stuff. All right, guys. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for the love and support. I will see you all next week. And for anybody who's going to join me on Tuesday on TikTok, I'll see you there. That's also when I'm going to be doing the next giveaways. So join me there, Narc Survival 101. All right. My loves, have a great night. Have a beautiful weekend. I will see you next week. Love, peace, blessings, God's protection. You guys already know all that good stuff. All right, guys. Love you all. Have a wonderful night, guys. Good night.